You're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Brandon Elliott. What's going on, everyone? What's going on? And welcome. I appreciate you guys all tuning in today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you do that right now, right here. And then after listening to a few episodes, do me a favor, leave a review. Would love the feedback. 5-star is what we shoot for. We're looking to impact 1 million people plus, to really be able to educate, motivate, and prepare them to take action in real estate investing. And as you guys know, my credit history, my credit background, we're very big advocates of financial freedom, financial literacy, and being able to take your current situation to the next level and be able to really see that generational wealth over time. And what I'm going to tell you guys today is a little bit more of a backdrop, a little bit of history on myself. I've shared this several times in the past, but what I've noticed recently is not enough people have actually totally resonated or heard my full story. So we're going to dive into it just a little bit today. Not the full, deep version of growing up and all that nonsense, but we might touch on it. And today this whole week is an anniversary. And it's an anniversary of literally the pivoting point of what changed my life moving forward. So from literally going from house arrest to 3.5 million net worth. And obviously it's been 8 years as the anniversary currently, but it took several years after my situation, my accident, my anniversary, to be able to get my life together. So going on 5-6 years at this point to be able to actually get that compound effect, that ball, that wheel spinning, to really start seeing that success. And what I can say is the perseverance and the persistence. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. The perseverance of pushing through any obstacles that come your way is ridiculously crucial, and persistence of not giving up and being determined, right, to get through that. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I know somebody does. So that's why we're diving into this right here, right now. We're going to get real raw. We're going to get real vulnerable because you guys, first off, deserve that. And second, to be able to get any type of breakthroughs, you need to. You're going to want to lay it all out on the table, because if not, then you're holding back from yourself, you're holding back from your full potential, you're holding back from friends, family, from your business, from your circle of influence, and you're not going to be able to hit that target that you're looking for. So it's going to spiral out of control, turn into depression, fear, whatever else the government and friends, negative influence on you, the devil basically pouring a lot of BS into your life, and you'll start acknowledging and accepting those things in your life, and that's not what you're called for, bottom line. And you know that, I know that, but we're going to dive deep into it today to let you know how basically I was spiraling out of control and going down the wrong path. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get real transparent, real raw, real vulnerable with you guys, and I appreciate just hearing me out on this. And if you don't want to hear it, then I totally get it. There's no feelings any type of way, and I apologize if any of this stuff does offend you, because it is going to get pretty serious in a second. But with that being said, let's just dive into it. So, as you guys all know, my name is Brandon Elliott. I'm originally from New Jersey, and grew up with a single parent mom, 2 sisters, one older, one younger. We all have different dads, and I never met my dad until I was 18 in court. so that he could stop paying child support. Basically, he ended up having a one night stand with my mom. He cheated on his wife at the time. He's got a family separate and so forth. And yeah, I mean, that was that, right? We grew up poor, but when I say poor, it's like quotations around it, like American poor. We're still blessed upon blessed upon blessed. I mean, we lived on, and my mom is still on Section 8, government assistance, Social Security, and we've had a lot of handouts and help from the church, as well as from local schools, friends, neighbors, and so forth. Very small family besides that, though. 2 aunts, 1 cousin. That's about as far as it goes. And what I can say is, growing up that way, because my mom is labeled bipolar, manic depressive bipolar. So because my mom was labeled manic depressive bipolar, she really hung on to that, and it's really like she wasn't able to hold a job for very long. Not that she hasn't had jobs in the past, she has. She's a diligent hard worker. She's a overall just good person, and she did the best that she could to raise 3 misfits, right? But needless to say, growing up, there was a big pressure being the only guy in the house and having issues in the house regarding finances, right? And the pressure, seeing like my mom struggle with not having either enough money to pay the bills, the utilities, the rent that month, and fear behind that, not sure if we're going to have TV or heat or rent paid this month. So just from mismanaging, the financial literacy education wasn't in our household. Okay, they're not teaching this stuff in school, and that's partially the reason, if not the huge majority of why there's so much struggle in nationwide homes, families, right? So, and we were one of those. Needless to say, right around 8th grade, started smoking marijuana, got introduced from some close friends of mine, and that turned into the first escape of actually like not having to worry and fear about any of the stuff that I was worrying about at a young age that normally somebody that young wouldn't have to be thinking about. But I was starting to look for my first job at age 9. I finally got my first job at age 12. But I was going around trying to pick weeds, cut grass. I was trying to go to all the golf courses to see if I could run around and collect all the balls. I was doing everything. I was hustling to try to get some income, because I had friends in the neighborhood that had like motorcycles, quads, dirt bikes. Like, I wanted to keep up with them and have fun instead of just riding on theirs and waiting or whatever it was. Like, I wanted to ride along with them. So needless to say, always hungry for that work mentality. I wanted paychecks. I wanted money coming in to be able to, that was the only issue in my household that I believed growing up. It was like, we just didn't have enough income. I didn't notice the drugs and all these other things that could start being an issue. Needless to say, like I mentioned, 8th grade, start smoking weed, found out I really liked it. And I was just laughing, giggles. But who knows out there that, when you are distracted from something and you are running away from the problems don't go away. The problems are still there. And because the lack of attention to it, sometimes they grow and spiral into something even worse, right? So with that being said, I ended up acknowledging right away that I didn't have enough money to actually be able to, smoke and keep up with smoking weed on a regular basis, on a however often basis I was doing it at that time. And I acknowledged almost instantly, like, hey, I have to be that individual within my circle of influence, my couple friends that I'm smoking with. I needed to be that person that would get it and then sell it to them, get everybody to chip in basically. I didn't think to like sell it to them. I just think I would collect the money, and ideally I would be able to have my $5-10 in there for free. So that's originally what I had in mind. And because I ended up doing that, I ended up just slowly turning into a drug dealer. Long story short, basically, it just started slowly growing. It would be not just my 2-3 friends, it would be some of their friends or some of our other friends. And then it was, 10, 20, 30 people. And then, because I grew up poor and I just didn't know anything about financial literacy, I literally just took whatever money that I had from this. I would purchase as much as I could, and then I would go back, sell it all, take all that money back, and then right back to my drug dealer, get as much as I could, and just keep on rinse and repeat. And obviously that would, more money coming in, take all of that, get as much as you can, just bigger and bigger amounts. And it turned into a little bit of a snowball effect, to say the least. Over time, I think there's good and bad behind that. It helped develop character. It helped develop accounting, because I had to keep track of all this stuff. It helped me stay organized, and it helped with business relationships, body language, understanding people's true motives, and then understanding that, the harsh side of the business, doing that type of lifestyle, is that you can't necessarily trust everybody, but trust is something you can lean into. Trust but verify, right? And that's what we teach in real estate, and it's something so crucial that you should never underestimate that. Basically, trust but verify, even with the closest of best friends, family, whatever it may be. And there's no hard feelings behind that. There shouldn't be. It should just be business. That's just what it is. However, when it comes down to it, doing that type of lifestyle, it turned into me having guns to my head, knives to my throat, my house getting broken into, robbed on a regular basis, cops knowing about me, pulling over other individuals, asking and trying to shake down individuals to give more information about me, cops showing up to my house randomly, and you name it, a bunch of negative stuff, really like going down the wrong path. I had 5 of my close friends that I hung out with on a daily basis for a year or 2 at that time that ended up robbing my house a couple days right before Christmas. Stole a bunch of money out of my safe, a bunch of personal, just memorabilia stuff from like my grandfather before he passed, gave me a coin collection and certain things like that I wasn't able to recover or get back. And it was very heartbreaking, right? Knowing that, the people that you hang out with every single day, they just turned your back and robbed you, took, almost everything that I had. At the time, gambled it, spent some of it. I got some of my money back, but it was really, it wasn't a good feeling, to say the least, a couple days right before Christmas. So with that being said, I decided to move to California. I went to visit a friend, kind of fast forwarding all this stuff, moved out to California. And at the age of, I think, 21, a year or 2 later, basically just growing weed, other things, sending back to, New Jersey and all this other nonsense that I was getting my hands into. I'm not going to say too much, just so that I'm not throwing myself under the bus too much here, but needless to say, just because I changed atmospheres, like coast to coast, I was still doing negative stuff. My lifestyle was still the same, just slightly different in a different location, right? And I ended up having an explosion in my apartment making hash oil on September 24th, I believe, 24th or 25th. And that was 2013, making hash oil. So I was on fire, had 3rd-degree burns, ended up getting placed into a coma for a week, and they induced me into a coma for a week. And basically, I got donor skin on my arms and legs, burnt 40% of my body. So I went through 3 surgeries. The donor skin didn't work, and it's supposed to trick your skin to start growing back. That wasn't the case. So they had to actually do another surgery, 1 out of that 3, to be able to take skin from my legs and put it on the back of my legs as where the damage was, as well as on my arms. And yeah, I mean, besides that, I was bedridden. I had to, for 3 weeks, I had to learn how to walk again. And the pain and frustration from that is where I saw myself in bed in the hospital, just realizing all the pain and damage that I caused. And that, hey, if I was intelligent enough to get some type of, very, very basic level of, I thought I was some, big stuff at the time. Like I thought I always financially at that point, I was able to take care of myself and be independent and so forth, have realistically whatever I wanted. And I always said to myself, like, hey, if I'm intelligent enough to be able to successfully do this, go down this bad path and, constantly have to look over my shoulder, but, still be able to live how I'd like, then God knows, what if I actually put every effort and every attempt into really going down the right path and seeing if I can change my life around and not have to second guess or look over my shoulder. Like with my personality type, I believe that God needed to give me something so strong, like an explosion in my apartment here in San Diego, Pacific Beach, to be able to literally take me off of the path that I was on and redirect me onto the path that I needed to be, that I was called to be, right? A little arrest, slap on the wrist, pulled over, something like that, that wouldn't have changed my life. Just truthfully, it just wouldn't have. I needed something so drastic that I literally, my skin was peeling off my arms and legs. I had the fear of being arrested, the charges that were coming down on me and so forth. And long story short, just to fast forward everything, years later, fighting it in court and so forth, and getting a lawyer and just preparing myself, had a mentor at the time and was starting to go down the right path. I ended up getting house arrest and 3 years probation and a bunch of fines and fees and so forth, in comparison to having 12 years stacked up against me that I should have been serving. Realistically, I was going to be serving 5 years in prison. That's a huge gratitude moment, to say the least. Thinking that you're going to get sentenced right here, right now, and then most likely serving 5 years in prison, and then instead, after they hear your story, it was a full circle, and I was able to get house arrest for 6 months and probation for 3 years. Had several fees. I got 1 misdemeanor and 2 felonies. So I don't say that proudly. I don't say any of this to really influence you in one way or the other. Why I do say this is because you might not necessarily be on the right path currently, or the simple fact of, I see a lot of people out there that are struggling with their true identity and their true calling, or even like the true persistence of pushing through, because there is going to be a lot of resistance, right? Of stuff that is going to try to hold us back. And the only person that can actually hold you back and keep you back is you. Like it's just you. It's the person in the mirror that you look at every day. That's your biggest enemy. But as long as you punch through and you face the music and you don't listen to those negative voices that chip on your shoulder of the devil trying to whisper in and don't allow him to come in, then you can speak greatness into your life, and that enemy that's in the mirror can turn into your best friend that you're proud of, right? That you're proud to say that, hey, I completed this today. I pushed through when I didn't think I could. I gave it everything that I got. And although I came up short, I still went way, way further, above and beyond further than what I was anticipating. And I did it alongside with my brothers, my sisters, my best friends, my other people that I look up to and so forth, or I crushed it in business. I did whatever it took, So the perseverance of pushing through all of those obstacles is crucial. But more importantly, the persistence to not stop and to gradually, go head to head with these obstacles, because there's going to be, that's just what life is. I mean, you guys know that. If you're listening to this, the obstacles that have been tossed your way. And it's always a life learned lesson. It's always a moment that you can sit back and reality check of counting all your blessings and gratitude. But the simple fact of understanding that there are going to be obstacles thrown my way, there's going to be resistance in my face, and how I actually move will determine whether I succeed or not. Whether I give up, whether I call it a day, if I constantly say I can't, speaking negative words of affirmation over my life, that's gonna quit, give up. If you're constantly just talking about the problem and not the solution, then therefore you will fail. Like that, the simple fact of whether you think you can or you think you can't, it's so correct. It's so correct. You are correct. If you think that you're going to fail, then you will. But the same instance goes if you believe that and you think that you can win, then you will. You'll have a hell of a stronger chance. Okay, so the mindset is so crucial, and pushing through any of that resistance. It's okay to fail. Bottom line, it's above and beyond okay to fail. It's not okay to give up. It's not okay to say you're going to do something in the beginning and then back out, weasel out, chicken out, when fear comes around, knocking, whatever it may be, when the tough times come. It's easy when everything is all cool, calm, and collected and level-headed, right? But when, you start getting punched in the face, or you got miles of an uphill hike and you got 100 pounds on your back or whatever it may be, and the road gets tough, that's where, okay, well, let's go back to that word that you spoke earlier. Is it true, or are you going to stay committed like you said you're going to? I understand the times are different now, but it's so crucial to be focused on that and not lose sight of why you're doing this in the first place, and understanding as well as the simple fact that once you get through this, once you push through this, how amazing it's going to be after. The outcome, the reward, the goal, how fulfilling will it truly be after? I got a quick story for you. So actually this morning I went for a hike here locally in San Diego on Cowles Mountain. And I took my brother-in-law's, Jennifer's two younger brothers, 12 years old, Leo, and 10 years old, Nathan. And they're both, they're amazing, great kids, sheltered, just like most kids, at that age, at this point. They don't stay outside too much on bikes or anything like that. They're more inside, games, tablets, stuff like that. Great kids, really, love their personalities, and they're hard workers. They care about business. They care about prospering, and just really good kids. So these guys, a lot of, especially last year, and everybody out of shape is something I feel like we can all relate to. but the kids, just from, not being outside enough, a little out of shape, and for the simple fact of going up this mountain for the very first time, right? The very first time. I took out Leo a month ago, and it was really struggles for him. He didn't think he could make it and wanted to turn back a million times, but he made it, right? So today, this was his second time, but we brought his younger brother this time. That's a little bit less in shape, and what I can say is that he wanted to quit at least 100 times. It took an hour and 20 minutes to get to the top, elevation of about 1,600. And that might not be, anybody can compare that if that's the most difficult thing in the world for you hearing that, or if that is like piece of cake and you did that 7 times this morning, right? But understanding that young kids, first time, and out of shape and just not used to it, it was difficult, right? And these crazy rocks and so forth. So it's like just trying to be prepared for that, and the mindset to overcome. But what I can tell you is that they committed to it in the beginning. They said, hey, I asked them last night, you guys ready to do this tomorrow? You're not going to quit. Do you have any questions? You're ready to go? They said yes, and they're excited, and they believed in themselves to be able to do so. Once we got there, obviously, the road got tough. Let's just say that the road got tough, and it was no longer cool, calm, and collected, and they wanted to give up several times. But what I can tell you is that I'm above and beyond proud, because they kept their word. They pushed through, and any of the resistance that they were feeling, they persevered through, and the persistence that they put into it, it shined, and you could tell how happy they were after, once they got to the top, how much of a just overwhelming feeling that they conquered the mindset. There's literally blood, sweat, and tears today from little man. So it's like, I can relate, I can understand, because we all can, like, we've all been there, but many people have given up. Like right when you get the sweat, people give up. Right when you get the tears, people give up. And then blood, shit, call it a day, call out the stretcher. We're getting out of here, But the simple fact is that we didn't let anybody give up, and we pushed through it. And there's breakthroughs at the end of that. At the end of the day, there's breakthroughs, and I couldn't be more proud of 2 young guys that persevered and pushed through the persistence of this, because changing that mindset and working on that each and every day. They say like motivation, it's like a shower. You need to take one every day. You need motivation each and every day to be able to spark that interest, spark that fire within you, and to overcome any of the obstacles that are tossed your way each and every day. And I can relate to that. But all I know is that pushing forward each and every day and seeing the growth, overcoming it, not giving up, and having just that deep breath at the end once you get to the top of the mountain, being able to ring that bell, hit that stomp, whatever it may be, and like really feel that excitement from it, and know that you conquered it. Such an amazing feeling, better than any drug in the world, and literally will be able to help out in so many different areas of your life. And I just see that in these young kids, that they're going to be able to do the same. So I'm just blessed to be able to have been along the ride for that, and to be able to see that change within them. And I pray that you guys find this, and whatever is in this talk today, that you guys see the same exact thing within yourselves or within your circle of influence, and be able to push through it, and not like leave any man behind type of thing. Like when somebody gives up or wants to give up, like you have that accountability partner to be able to hold you in place and fight through anything, and commit to the word that the goal, the objective that you set out to do in the beginning, even when the tough road comes ahead, So hope this finds you well today. I hope this resonates with somebody. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. This is what it's all about, the perseverance and persistence, and literally me coming from house arrest to 3.5 million in net worth within real estate, within our other avenues of business, within credit, and helping out so many people along the way. There's a huge calling over your life. I don't know what that is. Only you and the higher power know. But what I can tell you is that if you focus on daily activities that are constantly out of your comfort zone, and you're pushing yourself to the next limit, committing to your word, not giving up, not falling short, not 3 feet from gold, but constantly pushing through to hit that gold each and every time, get that fulfillment, and stay perseverance, just allowing it to come through, but pushing through, and just be persistent with it, then I know you'll receive the breakthroughs that you're looking for. So I pray this finds you well today, and thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. Leave a review. Let us know how you guys feel about it. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate all the supporters. We have over 600, 700, I believe, 5-star reviews right now, and that just warms up my heart tremendously. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. As always, if you want to reach out to me, you can always do so on Instagram. It's Brandon Elliott Investments. Otherwise, you can check out facebook.com/Brandon Elliott Investor. If you need any credit repair done for you services, you can check out creditrepairmobile.com. Otherwise, if you're looking to apply to become a part of our mastermind group, get educated within Credit Counsel Elite, all areas of credit for education, fixing credit very quickly, being able to build up several 6 figures in credit, even 7 figures in credit, and then being able to leverage it and put it to work. And I'd love to show you how to do so. Travel hacking, manufacturer spending, you name it. Really want to show you the breakthroughs that credit has done for us and our families, and literally being able to show you how to be able to purchase properties with credit, and just basically flipping the script on what the banks have been doing us for centuries. We're starting to do it to the banks now, and just being able to compound that success on top of it. So if you want any more information on that, then check out creditcounselelite.com. It's creditcounselelite.com, and let us know if you have any feedback. Okay. Appreciate you all so much. We will see you on the next one. God bless.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.